John Cardillo with The Rebel. I'm here with Dr. John Lott from the Crime Prevention Research Center, one of the most knowledgeable people I've ever interviewed on gun policy. Dr. Lott, we're seeing a lot of debate about this issue post-Parkland. I don't want to see emotional knee-jerk reactionary legislation. Do you think we're going to, or is this a lot of bluster and things will remain status quo?
I think you're going to see something passed, and I think it's going to get passed very quickly. I think it's probably going to get passed before there's really much consideration about it.
What will we see passed? What do you feel?
Well, I mean, you're going to get this NICS fix bill passed, which will be adding a lot more names to the NICS system. I don't mind in principle adding more names to the NICS system. The problem is we have this huge false positive problem. Virtually everybody who gets stopped is a false positive. And if you don't fix that, and there's simple things that we can do to fix it, then, but they're not going to do that because then the Democrats would get upset.
But are there due process provisions in the NICS fix?
There's not. I mean, you can go and bring suit later on if you're being improperly stopped from buying a gun, but it's something you have to do afterwards.
So there's no adjudication in there. You're going to have to go spend a lot of money on a lawyer and
go on your own. I mean, you can always go and hire a lawyer to do things, but it's not like what was originally in things like the terror watch list ban on guns was to go and require that the government had to make a case, had to show that they had at least probable cause to be able to ban you from, which is a pretty low standard. But the Democrats objected to that. They didn't want to have any judicial review of the decisions bureaucrats made about who would be not eligible to own a gun. And so that bill didn't go anyplace. But this, they want to get it passed, and I'm sure the Democrats would be upset about any judicial review requirements, and so I don't think it's going to be in there.
So what are the new standards to be added to the NICS list?
Well, I mean, some of the stuff is reasonable. They want to have it so that if the military knows that somebody has mental disability, they were involuntarily committed for mental illness, that would be reported to NICS. Or if they committed certain types of crimes, that would be reported to NICS. I think the vast majority of cases they did report it, but obviously there were a few cases where they messed up and didn't report it, so there's going to be money for that. And then there's a lot of money that would be available to the states to go and add more names to the system. So, look, I don't think the background checks are going to reduce crime in any way, but, if it makes people feel better, fine, but at least fix the system. I mean, virtually everybody who gets stopped is a false positive. There's no reason why we should be having that problem. It could be easily fixed. But my own belief is that a lot of Democrats view that as a big plus for the system rather than, a negative. And I wish also the costs were dealt with. We're right next to Washington, D.C. here. It costs $125 to do the background check on a private transfer of a gun in D.C. And, who do they think they're stopping from being able to go and buy guns? It may not be
right. Legal gun owners paying the $125 are not the ones committing crimes with the guns. That's the point you're making.
Right. Look, if you believe it reduces crime, and I don't, but if you believe it reduces crime, then you believe it reduces crime for everybody, not just the very law-abiding person who goes out of their way to go and buy a gun. And so, pay for it out of general revenue there. Don't make the entire burden be on the law-abiding citizen who's doing the right thing there.
I couldn't agree more. Dr. John Lott, Crime Prevention Research Center. For all of your CPAC 2018 coverage, stay tuned to The Rebel, and don't forget to subscribe to our premium service at www.therebel.media/shows, and go to your app store, check out the Rebel app.